So Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is just about to release, and I was pretty curious to see how the game was being received. A lot of Xbox, let's say exclusive sort of studio games that have been coming out recently, they've not really hit the mark, but it seems like this might be their first big hit. At least from a critic's point of view. So I'm going to be looking through the Xbox reviews. I think the PC version has about the same amount of reviews. Right now on Metacritic it has an 87. Right now the Xbox has 86. So it's more or less the same kind of consensus. It's doing really well. So on the Xbox it has 41 positive reviews, and only 3 mixed reviews and 0 negative. So it seems to be doing extremely well right now. So let's have a look through some of the bigger reviews here. So we've got a 10 out of 10. It says, "This is no lazy homage. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle delivers one of the finest cinematic gaming experiences you'll ever play. A proper new Indiana Jones film that is actually a video game, in which you control Indy with all his signature moves and quirks, the stuff of fans' dreams, in other words." So far it seems like if you're a fan of Indiana Jones and you want to get like a whole new story, a whole new experience, then this is the perfect game for you. It's basically like a movie, but in a playable form. I'm not like a massive Indiana Jones fans. Like, I really enjoy the films and the character, but I wouldn't say I'm like obsessed with it. Like, I don't really notice all the little details, and like it says, like the signature moves and quirks. Like, for me, I have no idea what that is, to be honest. But I do like the games. I do like the Indiana Jones films. Maybe not the more recent ones. I think they are meant to be quite bad. And I've never played a video game based around Indiana Jones, but this one looks very good, very cinematic, and I think it's by the team who put together the Wolfenstein games, so they're always very good games, very cinematic. We've got another 10 out of 10 review here that says, "Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is the best adventure this character has embarked on in over 30 years. Developer Machine Games has leveraged its expertise in the FPS space to deliver an immersive, authentic first-person adventure that is quite unlike anything you've played before." So I mean, looking at some of the gameplay, like I say, you can use the whip. Most of the time you use your fists or some kind of melee weapon that you can pick up. Guns, there are guns, but it seems like it's not really the main focus, but it's there, I think. So there's stealth, you can use guns, you can run around and kind of like catch the enemies off guard. It does one more 10 out of 10 review. It says, "A magnificent, immersive, smart and thoughtful action adventure game that doesn't bend the original to suit the needs of the game genre, but the opposite. Probably the most faithful adaptation of Indy's adventure we've ever played, in which you can spend dozens of hours and still discover something new." So I think I read that it takes about 17 hours or so to get through the main campaign, which is a pretty decent length. That's how long it took me to beat the Silent Hill 2 remake. And for like a single player cinematic game, that's a very good length. And if the story's very interesting and it keeps you going, then I think this could be a fantastic sort of cinematic experience. If you like those kind of games, I know some people don't like, they prefer just to play games that are just purely gameplay, but here it seems like the gameplay matches with the intentions of the story. I'll read a 9 out of 10 review here. It says, "Indiana Jones and the Great Circle isn't an average game. It's something truly special. It's got flaws, but it's an irresistible invitation to wear the fedora of one of my childhood heroes. To crack the whip and fully embrace the thrill of discovery and embark on a genuinely fantastic adventure, Whether you're a lifelong fan of the franchise or a newcomer with only games like Uncharted or Tomb Raider under your belt, this game delivers an experience that feels both fresh and heavily steeped in nostalgia. Indiana Jones is the original tomb raiding adventurer, and Machine Games have, to put it simply, nailed it. They've crafted an unforgettable journey that's worthy of the franchise, ready to embark on the adventure of a lifetime. The mystery of the Great Circle awaits. So I've always found it quite funny that Indiana Jones is clearly the one that started it all off, and then you have Tomb Raider, who sort of was inspired by Indiana Jones, and then you've got Uncharted that was inspired by Tomb Raider and Indiana Jones, and the Uncharted games are fantastic, and then the modern Tomb Raider games are inspired by Uncharted. You know, it kind of works like full circle. They're getting inspired by each other, and I think this Indiana Jones game is certainly, you know, you look at it, you think, right, they're trying to do something like Uncharted, but since it is a first-person game, it's definitely going to feel a little bit different. But at the same time, you kind of know that they're trying some new ideas, and it's probably going to have a good identity of its own, I think. So that was some of the more positive reviews. That was like the 10 out of 10s. There was a 9 out of 10. I'm going to quickly look at some of the mixed reviews. So there's 3 mixed reviews. So this is a 7 out of 10. It says, ultimately, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle comes out greater than the sum of its parts. The story kept my interest throughout, no doubt aided by the stellar voice work all around. Exploring these big areas and searching every nook and cranny for a hidden tomb or lost relic is a ton of fun, and solving puzzles gives your brain a challenge at the same time, jank and all. So this seems like a good review. It just talks about the story, the exploration, the voice work. So ultimately the gameplay and the puzzle solving, it's all very good, but then it mentions some jank at the end. So I feel like maybe that's why they put the score down. It's maybe not, 100% there. I've heard the AI can be a bit funny as well. So it's probably just like nitpicking kind of things. There's another 7 out of 10 here that says Indiana Jones and the Great Circle captures the spirit of adventure with nostalgic puzzles, richly detailed environments and thrilling set pieces. While it stumbles with lackluster AI and clunky item management, its charm and sense of discovery make it a rewarding journey for fans of the iconic archaeologist. So yeah, that's what I was basically saying, like the AI kind of lets the game down a bit, I think. I think there was a reviewer that said in the end you don't really have to use the stealth too carefully because most of the enemies are quite dumb and you can pass by them really quickly. And the last mixed review is a 6 out of 10. It says, ever since we caught wind of Machine Games making an Indiana Jones title, we've been very excited by the prospect, but ultimately we are a little disappointed in the final product. The overall experience isn't bad and it successfully sells the Indiana Jones fantasy, but the gameplay elements here just don't match up to the vibe of a fun time indie adventure. The pacing is all out of whack. The open stealth driven levels don't work in the context of an Indiana Jones romp, and the game just feels at odds with itself overall. We're always up for trying something different and for teams breaking genre tropes, but in the end, Indiana Jones The Great Circle is at its most fun in fleeting moments, which is a shame considering the amount of care and attention that's been put into adapting this famous old franchise. So this is a rare review, right? This is like the most critical of them all, and they're basically just saying like, this is not what I expected from an Indiana Jones game. So it feels like they've made one game with one kind of genre and ideas, and then they've just kind of slapped Indiana Jones on top. I think that's what the review's kind of saying. If it wasn't an Indiana Jones game, would the score be higher? I believe so. I think they're only putting it down because they don't believe this is what an Indiana Jones game should be. But if it wasn't an Indiana Jones game, I think they would still enjoy it. So if you're like me, you like Indiana Jones, but you're not like crazy fixated on the details, I think you'll probably love this game. The only thing you need to look out for is like the AI is not so smart. Apparently some of the gameplay can be a little bit janky. But overall, I don't think it's like something we can be too critical of. You know, at the end of the day, that if the AI is dumb, like I've played many games in the past where the AI is dumb, so it doesn't bother me in the slightest. Obviously, we would love AI that's more intelligent, but at the end of the day, for me, as long as the gameplay's fun, I can get through it, I can explore a little bit, solve some puzzles, do a little bit of combat, and then just enjoy the story. I think it's going to be a fantastic ride, and I really enjoy the Wolfenstein games, so they've got a good track record to machine games, and I think they've continued with this franchise, and they've gave the Xbox Studios like a really big boost, a big lift here for finally delivering a game that is not perfect, but it's definitely up there with like the best of the best. And I know this game is also coming to PlayStation, the PS5, early in next year, 2025. But right now it's only out on PC and Xbox, and I have an Xbox, so I'm, thinking like maybe I can just get Game Pass and then I'll just pick this up. So I think it's a good tactic by Xbox, Microsoft, just to make it exclusive for a little while, and maybe we'll get some more people on Game Pass, and then maybe they like Game Pass and they stick around, so I feel like that's a good tactic from them. So yeah, I'm seriously considering subscribing to that to play the game, because I love gameplay, obviously, but if a game's got a fantastic story like it does in Uncharted and The Last of Us, then I'm already really interested, because I really like those kind of games. You think about Spider-Man and God of War, they all have like these really cinematic stories on top of like fantastic gameplay. So if Indiana Jones can deliver that kind of performance, then I'm really interested in playing it. So it's just a case of, do I wait for it to come on PlayStation, or do I just play it now like on Game Pass? And I think that's the choice for many people. So what do you think of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle? Is it something that you're going to pick up on Game Pass, or are you going to wait for it on PlayStation, or are you going to play it on the PC? What do you think? If you liked today's video, please give it a like, as it really helps out the channel, and if you're new, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.